family's experiences are yours, but you'll miss out on them if you let your phone and your laptop be more important than those experiences. Because I have to choose consciously, and I have to really force, in a good way, myself to leave my phone in the truck when I get home after a shift, to not pull my laptop out and say, let me get on Asana, let me get on Slack, and let me get into something. Because being where your boots are today as a parent and living your life with your family. All right, chiropractors and chiropractic students, welcome to the Family Practice Podcast. You know, the one you've been waiting way too long for, because this podcast will actually stay focused on chiropractic. Not only what it takes to get world-class clinical results for kids and families in your community, but also what it takes to build a legendary, incredible family practice that takes care of your family way beyond your dreams. I'm Dr. Tony Ebel, and I'll be joined by Dr. Matt Hill, Dr. Ellie Wright, Jackie Jacobowitz, and incredible guests, chiros, associates, CAs, all these folks making massive impact around the world. We're going to cover everything: pediatrics, perinatal, family practice. This is the podcast you've been waiting for, because moms and dads and families have always needed us. Now they're finally ready for us. I hope you're ready for the Family Practice Podcast. Let's go. All right, let's go, everybody. This month's In the Trenches episode is going to really hit home and change your life for many of you, where you're going to hear this message and you're going to go, son of a gun, I am way off track. You're going to go, my goodness, I knew to do this. This is what I want to do, but I struggled to do it. And so I'm taking a different angle with this month's In the Trenches. Most of the time, these In the Trenches are going to be clinical. They're going to be, hey, when we're taking care of kids, this is what's moving the needle most right now. They're going to be business and practice growth. Hey, I'm running a practice. I'm the CVO, the CEO. Here's what I'm observing this month matters most to your business and your practice. Not this time, though. This is going to be an In the Trenches life episode. See, I'm going through all the same challenges, which is the same thing as saying going through all the same opportunities as each of you. I am always working on maintaining and promoting my own personal health, my energy, and most importantly to me, my relationship with my family and my enjoyment and my experience in life. And so this episode is going to be about one thing: having freaking fun and getting the most out of life, and not letting taking care of patients, not letting your business, not letting the job, if you're an associate and a care advocate listening in, not letting, and we don't call it a job, it's a calling, but not letting any of that bury you, not letting any of that take you away from your quality of life. It is time that you all realize that having a freaking blast in life is right there for the taking, but the choice is yours. You do have control. You absolutely can set firm boundaries. And as I love to say, being a farmer, and this was taught to me so early, so often by so many mentors. And again, I still can sometimes get a little bit off track, but I will tell you what I'm talking about with this In the Trenches episode is something that you could ask my wife, the biggest truth teller in my life, for me. You can ask her. I live this out. Be where your boots are. When I am serving patients, I am freaking dropped in. Shout out to our Centropy Chiro brothers. I am tapped in. I am present time consciousness, as my mentor, Dr. Mike Cody, taught me. I'm there for my patients. I am there for my team. When I am making content or I am in a meeting for the business and the practice and growing it, I am dropped in. I am there. But that's not what this episode is about. This one is about when I'm a dad, I freaking ball out all in as a dad. I'm in the pool playing 500 and tossing these chumps around in the pool. When I'm riding four-wheelers with the kids, we are in living life. When I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation, and my phone may be with me, but actually strategically, I'll tell you this, from the beginning of my practice, when I came home at night, I didn't need vacation, by the way, to drop in and get connected with my wife and kids. I have always had these firm boundaries, and I'm not necessarily going to give you this list of strategies today. I'm just going to share my story, and I hope that you can follow it and model it, because I have had this blessing to be an all-in, high-energy, enjoy the heck out of this life dad. And I'm sharing this one right now, honestly, from a bit of like, gosh, this has been a blast. Gosh, this is a blast. And honestly, a bit of sadness that I know I'm not even there yet necessarily, but we're in this transition period where my kids are 17, 16, 13, and 10. So we kind of like to split them. We've got the two old ones, Addison and Oliver, and then we've got the two little ones, Elena and Tiny and Amelia, and they're not even that little anymore. And all the parents who have already gone through these transitional stages, they know exactly what my heart and my head is talking about on this one. Because once your kiddo gets a license, once they get a phone, and we're a chiropractic healthy family, so our kids didn't get phones until they were well into high school. They didn't get social media until they were 16. They don't have unlimited. Everything shuts off at 11 o'clock at night earlier during the school year. Like, there is obvious things that are going to be in play so that we don't lose our kids entirely to the freaking internet like so many kids in this anxious generation have. But it's just true. And it's just good as well. Even if I don't like it, and I don't, the best thing in my kids' life still is my wife and I and their family relationships. But if you were to poll the two older ones right now and say, what is the most important thing in their life? Now, if we're around within earshot, they're going to say my mom and my dad and my family and my faith and my hip and my fitness and my health and my nervous system. Like, our kids are dropped in, they're tapped in, they know what the core values in life, but they're also 16 and 17. And even my 13-year-old would say this as well. And probably my 10-year-old, it's their friends, it's their social life, it's all this exciting time. They're transitioning to being adults. And so I can look back and share with this episode with you with truth and say, I haven't missed anything. Christina and I have always had our boundaries. We've always lived by this ideal week scheduling, which I will get a little more detailed on that to give you some strategy to take this heartfelt message home and put it in play today. But it's really more of a perspective, and it's a choice, because these opportunities to either get buried by work or not get buried by work and be incredible parents and be incredible spouses and be incredibly healthy. The choices are in front of all of us all day, every day. And I'm not saying it's easy, because goodness gracious, it's not. But it is available to every single one of us, okay? There are no excuses to miss out on life. There simply are not. I don't buy it, never have. I haven't bought it for myself, and I won't buy it for you, no matter what story you could ever tell me that your business or your job or your role has done. But my kids are going to be transitioning into college and into adulthood very, very, very soon. We do not get to hang out with the two older ones per day, per week, per month, as much as we did, obviously, when they were little. And we're taking them to music lessons, and we're taking them to swim, and we're going for walks to the park, and all of these things that when your kids are little, the one thing you're thinking is like, my goodness, I get no breaks. When your kids get older, you wish you could go back to the no break season. And this is just life, right? That I'm talking about in this. So I can look back and I can say, we were there. We have taken a full week vacation every 90 days. So for a year, often we take one that's even a little bit longer, plus all the holidays. So we've never missed out on those full connections, reset, recharge family time. We have experiences from Naples, frickin' Florida, to the Wisconsin Dells. If you're in the Midwest, shout out to that place. People in Florida think that Disney's the happiest place on earth, but people in the upper Midwest know that it's the wilderness. And if you're a Kalahari person, first off, if you're in this area, all these things are making sense to you. And I made some of you excited because you're from the wilderness tribe like me, and some of you a bit judgy because you're Kalahari weirdos. Okay, so all of that is to say, we lived full life with our kids this whole time. Every single Friday. I've never worked Fridays. I've never seen patients on Fridays. And I didn't also take that Friday and then just sit on my laptop while my kids played in the corner. I took them to music class. I took them to swim lessons. We went to the park. We played in the backyard. And so here's one thing I want to talk about. In the past, I can look back and say, man, we've been tapped in. I can look down now. We just got back. I'm literally recording this after a 2-week vacation, traveling. Then we got back and I spent all weekend just playing on the farm with the kids. Now, the truth is, why am I sharing this all with you? Because I have to choose consciously, and I have to really, really, really force in a good way myself to leave my phone in the truck when I get home after a shift, to not pull my laptop out and say, let me get on Asana, let me get on Slack, and let me get into something. Because being where your boots are today as a parent and living your life with your family and whatever things you choose to do, travel, farm, I don't know, your families are hunting, your family's experiences are yours, but you'll miss out on them if you let your phone and your laptop be more important than those experiences, than that time spent playing board games, playing in the pool, going for a walk, going to the park. The key that I have found, and this is where I'm going to get a little granular, a little strategic, is I got to get the frick away from my phone and my laptop. See, I think we are at a disadvantage as parents and people looking for the proverbial balance, which I don't believe in balance. My wife and I just believe in being where your boots are. I'm all in when I'm at practice, so that's not balance because I'm freaking all in, obsessive, relentless, and I'm all in as a dad. I'm all in when I'm working out. I'm all in when I'm living life out here. So the truth is this: it is harder for us in this generation. Now, I'm sure every generation of parents, our parents and grandparents will be like, oh, you guys are such babies. You know what they didn't have to face? These freaking phones and these freaking laptops, which can plug us into work. And I love my work, by the way. My wife and I, we love our work. So it's even easier to get pulled into Slack. It's even easier to get pulled into your project management. It's even easier to get pulled into email. It's even easier to get pulled into the studio to do some content and market and promote your practice and your business when it's in your freaking pocket. See, I wish we had freaking no internet access out here on the farm, because then it would be even easier for me to live out the principles and the experiences that I pray you get to have too, that are coming through this episode. So the tricks and the strategies, the tactics, whatever these may be called, is when I pull in to the garage after, so like today, I'm recording this after a vacation. I'm recording it early on a Monday morning, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to serve patients full frickin' out. I've got a clinical doc meeting for an hour and a half where we're going to be nerding out and going into clinical cases, and I'm going to be totally dropped in with my doc team and breaking down tough cases. Then we're going to have a meeting for the practice where we're going to, this is today, just give you a real example. This is a marketing meeting. I love marketing. I'm highly engaged in our social media content and our workshops and everything else. So I'm going to be full focus, full energy. They're going to get full 1,000% Tony at that meeting. And then I'm onboarding I got an intensive coming from Dubai and another one coming from Tennessee, and tough cases that are going to require full focus from me. So I'm going to be gone from the family for about 10 straight hours today. So the last thing I'm going to do when I get home about 7 o'clock tonight is take my frickin' phone and laptop into the house with me and have them be near me. See, this is the one thing, and it's even biblical, when things that draw you in and want to pull you away from the best parts of life, sprint in the other freaking direction. Now, the Bible uses a different, draw for this analogy, but I've always gone into that one and thought, well, where else can I apply that in my life? Where else can I keep this so far away that I can't get tapped in to the laptop or the phone? Because there will be moment after moment after moment. If you're a parent, you know this. You can either choose to read that book. You can either choose to go to the park. You can either choose to listen to your child's goofy story or whatever it may be. You can either choose to be fully dropped in and present with them, or quasi-present, where your phone is out, your laptop is out, and they're nearby, and that's spending time with them, but that's not quality time. That's not connection time. You're still connected primarily to work. And again, I'll triple tap on this. It's actually harder for those of us who really freaking love what we do. So this month, I wanted to drop this In the Trenches episode because I think it's harder than ever to keep these boundaries, to be having freaking fun everywhere in life, because it's really easy to blend it thanks to technology. Now, sometimes I love that advantage, right? If a patient's in a tough spot or my team needs something, I love that I can connect to them on my phone and really serve in that way. But I also don't love it a lot of times because I have to consciously, strategically take action to keep it away so it doesn't draw me in. Because if work is drawing you in, you're being pulled away or out of that family experience. And I think it's also harder for those of us who have truly stepped into a calling and don't even feel like the work we do is work. When you love what you do, it's a whole lot easier honestly, to lose track of that quote unquote balance because you love it. It creates a massive impact, and it probably does really, really well for you, your family, financially as well. So I want to close this one down by saying, I get the struggle. We have, our baby girl was born 2 weeks before we started the practice. So this constant tug of war of how do I pull it all off? How do I be fully tapped in, high energy, taking care of patients, and fully tapped in, high energy, being an entrepreneur and a business owner and a leader, and most importantly, fully tapped in as a husband and as a spouse and as a parent, and for my own personal health. How? By choice. That's all I can tell you. By freaking choosing, that's the life I will live, then designing it, then creating boundaries and a schedule and an idea. If you haven't read Free to Focus or Willpower Doesn't Work or one of those books, get with Michael Hyatt, get with Benjamin Hardy, get into PX. We teach this stuff literally in the onboarding of our membership because we know that you can't blow up your practice and get incredible, miraculous results with your patients if you're burnt out and you're tapped out. And playing with my kids, going for a walk with Christina, being fully present into my personal life and having the full energy expenditure there, because I'm not burnt out and tapped out, is actually what recharges my batteries better and more than anything else, and is truly my cheat code to being a world-class pediatric chiropractor. So all of it is possible. And whoever tells you it isn't, that you need to limit one to maximize the other, actually overtime, extra credit here, that's BS too. You do not need to limit the growth of your practice in order to maximize and optimize your experience with your health, with your spouse, or with your family. That's an excuse. That's BS. Actually, the way I would probably describe that one is that's just simply poor strategy. If that were true, if you needed to limit the growth of your practice in order to be an incredible parent and have it and be wildly healthy and happy in your personal life, then what are we? Some magic unicorn sprinkled with pixie dust? I don't believe in unicorns and fairies and pixie dust. I believe in our Lord and Savior who said, you are called to earth to bring heaven to earth. And you can do that for your patients. You can do that for your team. And most importantly, you can do that for your family. That's an and an and, not an or. So if you feel like one is taking more of you than the others, and you can't be fully present, fully energized, and fully connected with your personal health and with your family, that's not an impossible mountain to get over. You just need a new strategy. You need a new path. And you probably need a new guide. And so if I could help you have more freaking fun in life and experience this life, not only through your practice and growing it, but most importantly with your family, with your personal health, with your spouse, and with your kids, goodness gracious, will you please reach out and shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook if this message resonates with you. I've had enough of watching chiropractors burn out, and I've also very much so had enough of watching chiropractors play small as an excuse or quote unquote strategy to be able to play big in life. All of this at its best is available to you. Number one is you make the choice. You adopt the mindset that says that is the experience I will have in this life as a chiropractor. Everything in my life will be kick-ass and be awesome. And then two, once you make that choice, you back it up with strategy. You build your ideal week, you build boundaries, and you live by those boundaries, and you honor those boundaries, and at all times, you be where your boots are. Hey, Dr. Tony here, and I wanted to say thank you for listening to the Family Practice Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to the show so you don't miss a thing. Also, if you're looking for more content from us, you can absolutely subscribe to our newsletter, watch exclusive episodes on YouTube, and dive deep into the articles and blogs on our website. All of this is linked in today's show notes. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.